All right, in this video, what we're going to do is utilize the ad hoc reporting to create student lists that you can upload into your Ti-Nspire teacher software and create your classes. And this is the written directions. What we're going to do is we're going to move right into showing you how this can be done. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and log into Infinite Campus, which I've already done. Chances are, as a classroom teacher, you mostly live on this side of Infinite Campus, which is the instructional side. I'm going to come up here to the upper left-hand corner and choose Campus Tools. Once that happens, I can scroll down and I'm looking for this section over here called Ad Hoc Reporting. Once I get to here, I'm going to click on Data Export. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the report that I would like. So I'm going to click on where it says All Users. I'm going to scroll down until I find this collection of reports that starts off with Student AMZ. And I'm looking for the one that says AMZ Math Rosters. So this one right here is Student AMZ Math Rosters by school and course. What this will do is it will download a single spreadsheet for every single teacher and student who takes math in your building. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the bottom. If depending on your access, you might have access to multiple schools. So you're going to want to make sure you have the correct school selected down here. I have school 304 as my sample. And then what I will do is up here, I'm going to choose my export format to be the delimited values CSV. I'm going to select export. And it should create an extract, which is the report that I want. Now, I can't open this up right now, but if I were you, I would be just clicking on this. The reason I can't open it is it's going to have student information in there. I can't show that on the web, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And I'm going to open up a fake spreadsheet that I created based off of what you'll see in that report. You'll notice that there's these different columns up here, and they're named really weird. So here's student number, first name, last name. This right here is actually their section number. And this would be the teachers, right? So here's teacher A. I even changed that so there's no teacher information on here. I made the report have 4 teachers on it, teacher A, B, C, and D. I'm going to need to do a little modification to this spreadsheet, so that's what we're going to do first. My advice is kind of fill this out so that you know what it is. So since we have the spreadsheet open, let's go ahead and change this to the 900 number, right? Here's the student last name. Here's the student first name. Honestly, student grade could go away. Course doesn't matter. Course number doesn't matter. This is going to matter in a second. I'll show you how to do that, but this is going to be period. Teacher doesn't really matter because we're going to pull your teacher rosters here in a second. So now I've got these titles so that I can understand what they are. You can actually delete these columns or just create a column at the end, but I'm going to delete just so I can show you how this is done. I'm going to highlight using the letters up at the top. I'm going to right click in any one of those letters and choose delete, and it deletes those columns. The reason why I'm going to do that is now I'm going to add a new column called password, and we're going to fill that in a second. So now I need to find my data. Let's pretend I am teacher D. So you'll notice that there's A, B, C, and D. Here's teacher D. So let's pretend I am this teacher right here. That means I don't need this other data. The teachers C, B, and A. So what I'm going to do is notice when I highlight or I click on one of these cells here, I can trace this over and I see it's row 296. So I'm going to click on the 296 and I'm going to scroll all the way to the top. Then I'm going to choose, or I'm going to basically highlight all these cells. So the easiest way to do that is to hold the shift key and choose row 2. I've selected all those rows, and now once I've done that, I can come over here and on any one of these numbers out here, I'm going to right click and choose delete, and it'll delete all the rows so that only my information exists. Now, if you were teacher B, you'd have to delete the data above and below. That I kind of cheated. I'm just going to pretend I'm this person just so I can get to it really quick. All right, so now there's 2 final things we need to do to this. We've made the columns nice and pretty. We've deleted columns we don't need. We've deleted the rows we don't need. Now we need to fill in the password. If you're going to choose, I would choose the password for the students. You can let them choose, but then you'll spend all year resetting passwords. I generally make it either 1, 2, 3, 4 or math. It doesn't really matter because you're just going to have those kids with calculators in front of you anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and type math. This is a really neat little function. If I go back on the word math and I come to this little green square, I can double click it and it'll actually fill out all the students' passwords. Last thing we need to do to prepare this, we need to come into this period column. And now remember, this isn't technically the period, it's actually the section number. So you're going to need to change these so that it matches what your period numbers are, because we're going to name the classes. So let's pretend this one meets period 1. So I'm going to write period 1. And I know this is going to sound weird, but if I try and do that trick where I did the fill down over here with the password, notice what it does. It actually increases the number by 1. So here's a neat little trick. If you type period 1 twice, come back to the first one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to hold it all the way down, and I'm going to let go at the last number 1. So this is my first period class. I'm going to fill down. So if you know how to do that, it's right here, fill down. Or notice it tells me that fill down can also just be Control D. So I could just quickly just go Control D. Now let's pretend that section 2 meets on period 2. Again, I'm going to go period 2, period 2. Go back up to the first one. I'm going to highlight all the way down until I get to this 3. I don't know if you can see, there's my little 3 there. And then I'm going to hit Control D. And I'm going to do this for all of them. So here I'm down to my last one. Let's pretend section 5 meets period 7. So I'll just do period 7, come back up, highlight them all, and then hit Control D. So you'll see I now have all my period numbers marked in there. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. So now I've got my spreadsheet. It's got their 900 number, which is what I use for their username. They don't know their 900 number off the top of their head. I just have them look on the back of their bus pass. They can look in Infinite Campus, look on their schedule, whatever. But I do this because it's hard to type on an alphabetical keyboard, both their first initial, last name, or anything like that. So I use this as their username, math as their password, and then period number. And it needs to be at least 3 characters. So that's why I always do period 1. So now it's 4 characters and I'm good. Now my spreadsheet's good to go. Hit save, done. Once it's done, we can actually close out and go into our Ti-Nspire software. Once we're here, usually if you don't have things set up, you're not using the Navigator, you're probably under Documents because you can use the emulator here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Class. I'm going to go ahead and add a class. I could have typed all my students' names manually, but because we just created our CSV, I'm going to use this. Choose Next. I need to go find it. I have now found it. I'm going to go ahead and click Open, click Next. And notice this is where what we're going to do is we're going to actually tell the software what we want in each blank. I'm only required to fill out where there's these asterisks. Notice the password does not have an asterisk. I just want to reiterate, if you do not choose a password for them, students will get to pick, and you're going to spend the rest of the time resetting passwords. So I'm going to go ahead and use the drop down. So class name is going to be period number. Student first name will be first. Student last name will be last. Again, I choose their 900 number for their username. And for their password, I'm going to choose password, which is at the bottom of the list. So just double check, make sure things are mapped correctly. Obviously, these ones I'm just going to leave blank because they're not required. Once I'm done, I'm going to click Next. You'll see that my class and student profiles have been successfully created. Every once in a while, if something's not typed in correctly, you might get an error. If that happens and you're not sure what to do from there, go ahead and contact me. I'll come and help you figure out what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and click OK and show you that I have, here's my class. This is period 1, there's period 2, period 3, 4, and 7. If you have any questions, problems, make sure you reach out.